Well, hello again, friends and fans, and welcome back to Wargame Red Dragon. Good to have you here. 1v1 Raptor versus Hudson Sea. Yours truly on the side of Red 4, Blue 4 over there, of course. I believe it's an American deck that he's playing with, so we'll get ready. We'll travel heavy with some armor as we move into some defensive positions. Also, I'm going to wait for... I want to make sure I don't get hit by artillery or bomber, so that's good for bringing out those tanks. We're going to move quick with some aircraft. I think this is like the second time I played this map, so I'm kind of familiar with it, but it's all new. It kind of feels like Battle for the Fjord a little bit with a few other things mixed in, so we'll see exactly how we do here. Just taking a quick look at the deck. Oh, thank goodness. I made some modifications to this deck since the previous closed beta. Or maybe I used it recently, I can't remember. But either way, it wasn't up to par, so I had to make a couple adjustments to it, including some additional AA for choppers and such. We do have a few recon choppers and whatnot, but if you want to take a look, go ahead and pause at any time during the clicking through that menu. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get down and dirty with some quick caps. We're going to go Constantine and Jot and Sheraton and Ivan first, so the T-72 there will go to Sheraton. Basically what we're going to do is we will have some recon come out right at the start and figure out where he's at, and then we'll have some recon choppers come out with a couple of good tactic from our friend NATO Potato, and actually we'll bring out the Akula and see what we can do there. Now that's going to be very risky, so you know what, I'm not even going to bring out two of those. I'm just going to bring out one, and that'll be fine. Okay, 52 again has seed and anti-aircraft missiles, so it's a very nice aircraft or helicopter for that kind of thing. We're going to move fast to a few areas to block. We're going to take Motor Streliki and BTR-70s to the north section at the bridge here, or the town at Gregory, I should say. And then we're going to block at the bridge over here at Jot, which actually maybe, you know what, they'd probably be better on the main line up here. Also, aircraft could come at the early start, but one of the most important things we should do is bring out a Smirch, since we can counter the enemy artillery. If there's artillery anywhere in Anna, I believe the Smirch has a good enough spread to cover that. That's something that was brought up to me by the boys, and we're going to bring out a couple of Bucks and a couple of Tors to basically tear up the enemy if and when aircraft come around. Now, if anything comes over center or Gregory or even Sheraton, anything in the woods here, the jungle at Sheraton should be able to fire back at it before it's able to do anything. A couple things I do want to call out too is some early game recon just to set out in the kind of the marshes around the area. So I'm going to have BTRs with recon move to multiple positions, and there is no naval, by the way, on this map. I should say a couple things, too. You guys have said, why aren't you assaulting with your amphibious infantry? Well, one, the tab is not there, as you can see next to air. And two, they've kind of disabled it. This map doesn't allow it, and it's been disabled for this for this open beta. Sorry, for the beginning of the beta, it's been disabled. So anyway, we'll get to it later. Don't worry about it. And for those of you saying recon, of course, I don't need recon if I know the enemy's there. And with the use of artillery, you can kind of hope to bomb it and at least kill one or two things and get the enemy to retreat out of there. You don't need to see everything at all times. And the importance about helicopters is that where you think the enemy's going to attack, you can move there and then move to another position. So you don't always need to see everything all at once. In fact, that's kind of what troops in defensive positions are for. 310 points remaining. I'd like to keep that for the MiGs, just in case we get outnumbered in the air department, which I hope is not the case, which probably won't happen. And since we do have possible enemies coming from center to Sheridan, I will save up our aircraft points. If we don't see aircraft, I'll eventually call out tanks to guard at Sheraton and repel any sort of assault. I don't need all the points in the world, I just need to get to 4,000 if that's what we're playing to, and hopefully we have enough to do what we got to do. So let's see. Again, I would spend the rest of the points, but I'd like to save it for aircraft. That's something that's almost indispensable, and since we don't have bombers, which is kind of unfortunate, we'll just have to make do with our artillery. We don't have a lot of it, but you know, actually one thing I should do is bring up some anti-aircraft for these troops just in case they get attacked by anything. Hopefully it's just going to be a 6 missiles there. We'll bring up one of these for choppers and for aircraft. Hopefully it's just going to be something light. So that gives us 185, which we can spend on one of these MiGs at least, so that should be okay. And any extra points we get will probably go towards recon. In fact, why not even spend one AGS will be fine. There, perfect. That gives us just enough for the aircraft as well if needed, or some tanks. 20 seconds left. In the meantime, tell a friend. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Help this great game grow. And we're ready to roll. So let's get our vehicles moving. Come up here first. Get these helicopters off the ground. Get our smirch marked in 1. A lot of things you got to do. A lot of management right at the beginning. A lot of things you got to do. I don't know if we can actually land over here. It's hard to tell what is... The marshes are so thick, not the family, but just the marshes in general are so thick that it's hard to actually get your vehicles moving in the right direction sometimes. Or at least to land in the right area. Okay, so Anna's been resecured by him, so he must have done a move all. So that could be a lot of light vehicles. He could have just did that, moved all, and then accidentally made his commands move as well. Kula and K-52 are traveling together nicely. BTR is going to move up then. And the AGS will sit in the back. Tor will be up on the front line as he's got a shorter range, and Buck will take the back seat there. Straylers are going to move up to support on the right. We'll put them in the marsh as well as the OSA. I'll leave the other OSA on just in case. We do have an MI9 that'll flank to the right now, up the river. Constantine has been secured. Sheraton and Constantine, where the hell? Oh, okay, we have both of those. I was going to say, where is he behind our lines? Okay, so anyway, I've been seeing a lot of skill level too, by the way. I've seen basic beginner players. Oop, there's a good target for our boy there. Let's see where that command stops. I bet he's going to park right in town. We'll go for that and see what happens. Hammett out in the open. Goodbye. There's an option, by the way, in the menu to immediately attack units like that. You can set it to automatically fire on supply, and I would recommend you do that. And oh my god, we are engaging. I don't want to fire at those LT, they're just cheap units, so I don't really want to hit them with anything just yet. But here comes the Smirch. We're going to pull back a little bit and set up some defensive positions. But before we do, I'm just going to show you what the Smirch can do. It has cluster munitions. You can see those breaking off and blowing up everything to hell. Really too good of a cluster on that. I don't like that. That corrected shot was no good. If he could have blanketed the whole area, he could have hit many units. He could have definitely did a lot more damage there, which is really unfortunate. So, bad on that corrected shot, which is one reason why I don't usually keep recon near artillery strikes, because I could have... Well, actually, it wasn't even that correct. How would a corrected shot look? Minimal range? Not too much difference between a corrected shot and a regular shot, so never mind on that. But we may as well... Actually, let's target the front area there, and we'll get recon moving up. We'll see where the enemies move to. We'll have our MI9 move up, and we'll kind of sit in the back a little bit with that one. Defensive positions and everything. Again, I play a little bit faster when I'm not recording. You know, sometimes I have to explain things and it takes an extra second. So your speed should be slightly faster than this if you're doing something on your own. And trust me, speed is the essence. Since if you're trying to unload vehicles or if you're trying to get an aircraft up, an extra half second will help. Not seeing a lot of enemy up. Possible enemy at Elena. I did see something over here. Pochang or something. I'm not familiar with what that was. Some sort of light helicopter, I'm sure. BTR-70s are going to move up then. We'll do a little reconning at Elena, and since the enemy doesn't seem to find it important to secure his right flank, we're going to call out a very nice strike. We'll build up. I'm going to build up a kind of a medium chop blob there as we bring up rocket-based aircraft, but mostly, or helicopters I should say, of course, but the most important thing is to drop off those troops, and so that can buy us time by stunning the hell out of enemy units as they spawn and or killing a command. I've had victories in the past where I may be behind in points, but you can end the game early and win by knocking out those commands or even choking off Anna if you're able to get behind the enemy. Okay, so you can see the MI9 gives you at least a basic position of where things are, but again, I already kind of knew that was there. Once the enemy, by the way, once you see them, they tend to lock into defensive positions. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Hello, beautiful. So we got Abrams there. Go ahead and have Mr. Smirch retarget. I just wanted to see how close he was. Corrected shot there. Let's see if those Abrams done get dead. Chaparral there watching us. I don't want to attack out in the open. That would be pathetic. I could bring up the Akulas and do some work on the LAVs or something, but let's have the rockets do the work. Right now we have not taken any losses, so let's try to play it safe as our chop attack builds up a little bit. BTR is spotted, even though it's in the ooh, there we are, Navy SEALs, that's why. Now, let's see, our grenade range is 1200. Their grenade range should be less, 455. So hopefully we're able to engage them before they can engage us. Okay, we should have our Smirch coming. I just want to see what this cluster munitions can do against the perfect situation, which is a light vehicle and multiple heavier vehicles sitting right next to each other. Hopefully this is a dream come true. Hopefully the Smirch can do what it was intended to do. It's supposed to crack defensive positions like that, but you can use it offensively too to get the enemy to flee or panic. He's bringing up those SEALs to try to see if our commands or what it could be, but the AGS is going to engage early. Ooh, direct hits on those Navy SEALs there. They're getting the hell out. Oh, aircraft coming in. I see it on the mini-map. Oh, nope, it's a Humvee. Okay, I thought I saw something flying real quick, and that's a Humvee that's flying. So it's going to be a bad, unfortunate block on our attack, but let's see if the Smirch is ready to fire. Here's the Smirch, by the way. You've got, let's see, 4, 8, 12. Whoa. There it goes. Those are 300 millimeter, rather. And there goes, wow, look at that perfect grouping. Now, at this point, it's far too late for him to move. So we'll see exactly what happens. There's those tanks there. They're at 15,000 meters. And here comes our first hit. Miss. Just breaking up. Oh, right behind them. They're panicked. Panicked.
Are you talking to me?
So a cluster munition that basically panics. Glad I didn't use that in the beginning. This is testing, by the way. Oh, Navy SEALs. Look at that. They can get around right there. That's a beautiful move. Let's go ahead and get a couple choppers on that. Alright, so let's get our chopper attack moving. So we were able to panic the Abrams, and it caused absolutely no damage. They won't even have to buff anything out. Look at that. The cluster munitions hit right behind. Now, I know it's not a direct hit, but there should be, even though it's a cluster munition, should be some sort of damage, but there's not. That was a corrected shot and everything. So anyway, there you go. So if you want to use the Smirch, I mean, that's what you'll get. It's more for breaking up enemy convoys, and you kind of have to be lucky with it. Abrams are still panicked, though, so that means we could bring up some tanks, and, well, hell, why not? I'm kind of playing with him now to see what we can do, but yeah, let's bring up our tanks and really bro down with them then. We'll bring up a couple of recon units, that'll help them, and we'll bring up a truck. You know what, we better bring up an MI6. No, you know what, that's going to be too close. We'll bring up 4 Urals for those. And he moved into Dimitri. Meanwhile, those Navy SEAls are toast. With that MI4 moving in, he's not. It's obviously a newer player, which is cool because that gives us time to zoom in on stuff. So don't you worry. He's now trying to run away. Look at these troops. Dung 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 dung. Animation's a little too slow for their foot walking. But we'll keep up with them then. Keep the recon on them. Another nice thing would be if you told an MI9 or a recon unit to attack another unit and it didn't have a weapon. It would be nice if it kept it within range. If you wanted to stalk. Like, for instance, speaking of stalking, I don't understand why these MI4s are completely incompetent. You guys tell me to attack all the time, but no. What the key is to move as close as possible, and then tell it to stop, and then have it fire. Because you want to. There's the minimal range, but there's the not gonna miss nothing range, and hopefully this is the not gonna miss. At least with 48 rockets, I would hope so. There you go, 80 millimeter. Navy SEALs, completely deadly too. Those are some mean moves right there. You don't want to screw with those guys. IRL, or in this game, I would assume. So we're gonna bring up our choppers, and hopefully there's not a lot of AA in the back. I would have hoped for some sort of bombers, but we pretty much got the map here. He's holding defensively. Looks like he's gonna bring up his aircraft on the right side. So we're gonna bring up our. He's bringing up a block. We're bringing up a block of our own. Let's hopefully we hit something here. Knowing the Soviets, probably not. There goes the Tor. Wow, we actually were able to do something. At only half the health of our aircraft, I thought I was going to die. Still got a flawless victory. I'd like some sort of fight at some point. Going to bring these Mi-8s here and land them. And I'm going to get the other ones to cross with the recon. Now the purpose of this is we're going to try to look for a command back here while simultaneously attacking Anna. And the Smirch should begin its attack now. That was coordinated nicely. So the Smirch will start to take those Abrams on. I'm surprised he didn't move them, but then again, with the minimap being on the fritz, he may have not even seen it. We don't want to get too close. Okay, look at that. You got Abrams there. A lot more Abrams. Those are Marines. Okay, I thought it was Chaparrals for a second. What we're going to do is we're going to park over here. And we're going to get those guys. Come on now, you other chopper. Out of hell with it. We'll just take whatever else. Ooh, there you go, Paladin. That's a big artillery unit there. Abrams now, direct hit on those. Oh, there we go. Finally killing one stationary AT. Nice grouping. This one should get a kill. Nope. Oh, come on now. Perfect. Beautiful hit on all fronts. Look at that. There you go. So it only took 2 in 40 minutes. I would suggest just getting on the damn ground tanks and taking them out. Alright, we'll try to take out the Paladin. And we may as well get another aircraft up, as he may call out aircraft to counter our attack there. There's the block. I don't know what he has out, so I don't want to go too deep on that side. Let's try to move over here where we're safer. Looks like he may have recon. Or is that a Chaparral? Oh, it's a Marine truck. Whatever that thing's called again. The JK LOL. Alright, well, let's get our VDV to move up close to that Abrams. Mi-8s are not wanting to play. Forgot to bring those up for an attack, by the way. If he blinds us, that won't be good. MiG-31 not wanting to engage. He popped flares, though. Block 52 is on the way out. Oh, damn, Marines. No bueno. MiG-31 engage, baby. I guess he can't do that. That's must outrange him, even though he's point-blank range. Go figure. VDV are disappearing. Don't know what's going on there. They must be self-destructing, so that way they respawn. I don't know. They're obviously dying to the Marines, but Chaparral's finally being called out there. Gonna have our next Smirch strike go into the woods. This is the interesting thing, by the way, about aircraft, is that when you need to Chaparral the most, and when you really need it to rock, damn, look at that bad bitch. That's when they fail. They get panicked and they can't hit nothing, no matter how many missiles they're armed with. Nighthawk was called out. That was an interesting call out. We'll try to end it here then and see where we can, if we can find the command. Looks like there's a chopper parked out front there. That little Chinook. By the way, that's a great name for a gangster. Hey, what up? It's your boy, Lil Chinook. What up? Bring that behind the lines. Ooh, wait a minute. Speaking of behind the lines, you kids are gonna get your tank battle you've been wanting. Cool. So long as we can keep eyes on them. Or I could just bring up helicopters, whatever you want. I'll do both. Alright, there was a Humvee that was spotted. Oh no. What the hell's firing the Gatling cannon? Oh, PVAD's okay. I thought it was coming out of the Abrams for a second. Who knows? It's beta. Not anything's possible. Okay, T-72s are almost within range. We'll get those up to the intersection. Grenades are popping off on the Abrams. They should be calm the entire time. They really shouldn't panic for that level of munition. That would be ridiculous. T-72A should be able to engage with their ATGM at some point today. Go ahead and have this retreat. I think, did we find his command? No way. No way, there's no way. Anyway, with these cheap units, you know, it'd be like, oh, they're running out of fuel, bring them back. Why not? They're expendable. You have to keep them right where they're at. He tried to do a spearhead with the Abrams, which was smart. There was nothing but a tour and a buck, and he almost got to the command, but we had our tanks there, which really is what saved us. It wasn't really the Mi-28s, unfortunately. And the AGS is lol worthy. Wow. Simo-splode. Thankfully, not really seeing any too much use of Insta-Ac. Did see the Paladin there, but it wasn't really deployed that well or that quickly. Chaparral's out. Looks like he's going for a full attack now. Wow, wow, wee woo. All right, bro. We'll meet you on the island. 1v1 me. LAVAT, which I think was in Star Wars. It's what Luke Skywalker wrapped his. Oh, hold on a second. Darth Vader found it. Use the Force. No. Okay. Anyway, we've got a full attack breaking out. Looks like Chaparrals and Marines are pissed. It's cool to see that. We'll drop some munitions on it. We actually may have gotten Anna with that Smirch I had forgotten about. Let's see if we can drop something right on the road. Right there. See if we can catch something in there. He does have infrared missile launchers coming up, so we're going to get the choppers out of there. And the T-80s are just going to bro down right now. Communist roadblock. Unfortunately, those units won't stand a chance. Those grenade launchers are doing a good job at stunning. And the well, basically, they're gone. T-80As are going to laugh at that range. It does suck, too, by the way, how a group of transports are as much as 2 tanks at some point. They're basically defenseless. The Akula's going to get ready to fire now. Missile away. Another missile away. Beautiful hits on those. He has killed 390 points worth of our units. Mostly transports, I'm assuming. Marines are out in the open. Get those Mi-28s on them. And those Mi-4s can come over. They'll be a little late to the party, I think. I do want to back up those Strela and Osa. A lot of transports coming now. This ain't going to be nice. Luckily, we do have the Akula with, well, it's basically nothing, but at least it has something. And the Motor Streliki will put everything else to rest. It will stop everything else. Marines are too close now for the T-80s. I should have backed those up a long time ago. We're going to just pull out. And we're going to block on the other side. And we'll let the Revzavsk get finished off. Yes, the Razvedka will be finished off. PVADs are coming in too. So, gonna have to watch out for that. Ooh, we missed the Abrams. Damn. He is firing at the Abrams, though. That's nice. Okay, time to get out of there. The K-52's gone. Oh, wow, they were even shooting at it. My God. Abrams hit on the side. So that's a kill. More Abrams are coming up now. Mi-28's figuring out how to shoot. 122 millimeters are toast. Now, the Smirch should be about ready to fire in about 20 minutes. I don't understand what that guy has to do in order to fire his unit. BTRs were able to stop the rest of that convoy. So I don't know if this guy has to write a memoir, or if they got to write to Moscow for permission to fire again. I understand it's got to be a long reload time, but in all fairness, I don't know if it takes that long to really reload and aim. And I'm sure there's going to be a huge debate about time to reload versus real game time or whatever, but I don't care. I just play the game. Oh, we lost Mi-28. Probably due to being too close to Marines and everything, but that's okay. We'll give him some points. I'm trying to give you the zoom close-ups, and so when he moves his units from building to building, he gets that much closer, so that's just how it is. So keep in mind, when you're recording, it's a little tougher to get all the, to play perfectly because you got so much to watch. There's requests to zoom in, show your opponents. There's, people always, why are you complaining? Well, it's just part of the game. It's the emotions we're experiencing at the time. You're seeing it raw, live, and fresh. And then afterwards, we kind of just laugh and be like, damn, that artillery. And we go back and see how they used it. Not all the time. Usually I just leave. But most people stay, and I tend to as well if my friends tell me to hang out and see what was up. Anyway, oh, whoa, Nighthawk was used on the the T-80s and the T-72s. We'll just RTB on that now. By the way, those Nighthawks rarely ever kill anything if they're not damaged to hell, so I kind of wasn't really worried about that. Yes, it's a real-life helicopter you're hearing. Beautiful, huh? AGSs are doing some work on those Marines. Really stunning the hell out of them. Marines should actually spread out and not move in these column formations. What the hell? I'm sure that'll be fixed in the future. The animations you see will get better. I guarantee that. Those are not as good as they were in ALB. That's just temporary. Strelas are out of the way. OSAs are out of the way. The Marines will keep coming. They'll probably make their way through. But 5 minutes left. We'll call out a couple BMPs at this. You know, we need a real Marine blocker here. And that's going to be the BMPT. Of the Strelas and the OSAs move to the other side. No aircraft to stop those, by the way, and the cluster munitions from the Smirch ain't going to do nothing. And I think that thing just fired. It takes so long to fire, I forget about it. He may have put his command over here, so that's what we'll attack first. And the MI-8s, we're going to keep in the back just for soft targets. If artillery or something comes in, we can try to risk them. Looks like the Marines... Oh, it looks like he's smoking out the recon. Marines are actually hitting a roadblock with the motor Streliki. They're stunned to hell. That's one unit eliminated. These are Marines from the 90s, so they come with the M16, the Mini-Me, and the Law. You can see that they're a close-quarter weapon as well, so they're very good for fighting in towns and cities. And it looks like that other Marine group was finished off. Almost, anyway. Out of frag grenades on that recon, but it can still be useful if you keep it on the line. But we'll bring it back to the Urals and the safeness of the tree line. Seems to still be gunfire going on. Sounds like a inner city community. And now there's... you can hear the hiss from smoke rounds now. However, I don't know why I need to hear it all the way up there. They'll fix that sound a little later. So anyway, this was a very new opponent. You can see that I do believe that even if you're a new opponent, you can get lucky by just calling out a ton of aircraft or something. I've heard of games, and I think I've seen games from the other members of the Rat Pack who've recorded playing games where, you know, some sort of ton of seed aircraft come out that also have infrared missiles, and they mistakenly call out a MiG-31, and their MiG-31 gets lost, and the enemy leads throughout the whole map until maybe towards the very end. And that's just some of the luck that you get. The game is mostly, you know, there's RNG, there's accuracy percentages. You know, you can, you know, you could lose both helicopters if they're too close together like that or something. So, you know, always be aware of that. Wow, look at that. Our FOB's almost finished off. Yeah, and always consider bringing another FOB too, if you can afford it, especially if you're supporting your team. And wow, look at that. The FOBs actually have, do they say anything? No, they don't. By the way, you don't have to have a helicopter land at the FOB, even if it's a supply helicopter, to rearm or refuel. You just got to be within the circle area. By the way, Eugen, I would like a circle around the FOB to see how, you know, what the supply zone is. Same with the Ural trucks. I can just distinguish that that's a supply unit. So with 2 minutes left, I don't think there's going to be too much of an attack from him. I could attack as well, but it's not. I'm not going to. I mean, you saw I called out those BMTs ages ago. It takes a long time to get units across the map. So at the beginning, bring out some of your heavier stuff. Then towards the middle, bring out more of your heavier stuff. And towards the end, keep it all choppers. Choppers at the beginning, but choppers at the end as well. Save some for later. It's always a good piece of advice. It looks like those Marines will probably get to the forest before we're able to stop them. Hopefully we can have our motor Streliki. Motorola. We'll have our motor Streliki cross, and hopefully we can block some of those Marines. Hopefully they start shooting. Marines have engaged their cloaking device. We'll see him in a second, though. So BMPTs and AGSs will come out to face off against those Marines. So nothing at Jot. You know, there's a perfect area here for a naval landing or a early game crossing on either side to get to Boris, or well, Elena, I should say, or Jot. Jot is a nightmare for infantry, man. If you put Strela on here, enemy's going to have a bad time. And look at how they... wait a minute, did this get hit by artillery? I can't tell. Anyway, the Marines are coming out of the woods. BMPT can see them. BMPT is going to fire. And in a matter of seconds, that unit's finished off. Incredible, by the way, what the BMPT can do against advancing units like that. We have an M1 Abrams that's out in the open. I don't know if we can get a helicopter up there in time to deal with them, but let's try. We'll bring up our recon and our strike aircraft, the Akula, or our helicopter, strike helicopter. I call them aircraft sometimes. These two look identical, just differences in what they're armed with. Don't know why they're not moving at this moment. Apparently they just wanted to get up and stretch their wings or legs. So with 25 seconds left, they're just not going to be able to get in there in time. So I'll try to do more 1v1s. The good thing about noobs is that it can just it really does nothing for me other than to help show you guys what the units look like and methods of attack. You see, brought up he relied too much on armor and didn't keep defenses close to it. And really, when the chips are down, don't try not to attack. That's when it turns into a sniping battle. In the beginning of these games, when they come out of beta and stuff like that, that's where a lot of the sniping goes down because people don't know really how to defend and attack sometimes. And that's just the way it is. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. A little less complaining this time, but I'm going to complain again. That's how it is. So don't worry. We'll be back with more. Bring the cornucopia of pain, baby. That's where that statement came from. Don't just bring the tillery, baby. Bring everything you got. And this is Raptor for the rest of the Rat Pack, reminding you to keep the password and pimp hand strong. We'll see ya. Bye.